Officer Marcus Reed had been on the Riverside Police Department for 12 years. 12 years of the same routine, the same streets, the same faces. But today, something was different. His hands were shaking as he gripped the steering wheel, and he couldn't figure out why. Unit 47, we got a suspicious vehicle parked on Elm Street near the old library. Black sedan, tinted windows. Caller says it's been there for 3 hours. Marcus grabbed the radio. Copy that. I'm 2 minutes out. He didn't need to respond to this. It was probably nothing. But lately he'd been feeling this pressure. This need to prove something. His supervisor had questioned his productivity last week, and the word stuck in his mind like a splinter. The black sedan was exactly where dispatch said it would be. Engine off. Windows up. Just sitting there in the afternoon sun like it had all the time in the world. Marcus pulled up behind it, his heart already beating faster than it should. He sat there for a moment, watching. Then he saw her. A black woman in the driver's seat. Her head was down, focused on something in her lap. A newspaper, it looked like. Just reading. That's it. Marcus muttered to himself. She's just reading. But his supervisor's voice echoed in his head. You need to be more proactive, Reed. More engaged with the community. He stepped out of his patrol car, one hand already resting on his belt. The woman didn't look up. Didn't even flinch. That bothered him more than it should have. Marcus approached the driver's side window and knocked hard. 3 sharp raps. Nothing. He knocked again, harder this time. Ma'am, I need you to roll down your window. The woman finally looked up. She was young, maybe early 30s. Calm. Too calm. Her eyes met his through the glass, and for a split second, Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. Not of her. Of himself. Of what he was about to do. But he'd already started. He couldn't back down now. Roll down the window. Now. She did. Slowly. The window descended with an electric hum, and Marcus could see the newspaper in her lap. The New York Times. Today's date. Is there a problem, officer? Her voice was steady. No panic. No attitude. Just steady. That made him more nervous. Can I see your license and registration? Why? That one word hit him like a slap. Why? Such a simple question, but it felt like an attack. Because I'm asking. You've been parked here for hours. It's suspicious. Reading a newspaper is suspicious. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. His hand moved closer to his weapon. Ma'am, I'm not going to ask again. License and registration. Now. She didn't move. Just looked at him with those calm, knowing eyes. I'm waiting, Marcus said, and his hand was on his gun now. Not drawn. Just resting there. A threat without words. That's when everything changed. The woman reached slowly toward her passenger seat, her movements deliberate. Marcus's breath caught in his throat. His fingers wrapped around the grip of his service weapon. Keep your hands where I can see them. I'm getting my identification, she said, still calm. Still too calm. Hands on the steering wheel. Now. She complied, but there was something in her expression. Not fear. Not even anger. Something else. Something that made Marcus's stomach drop. I need you to step out of the vehicle, Marcus heard himself say, and he couldn't believe the words were coming from his mouth. This was escalating too fast. Way too fast. But he couldn't stop it. It was like watching himself from outside his own body. Officer Reed, she said, reading his name tag. I'm going to reach for my identification now. It's in my jacket pocket. I'm telling you this so there's no misunderstanding. I said hands on the wheel. Marcus drew his weapon. The Glock came up smooth and fast, muscle memory taking over. He pointed it directly at her head through the open window. Get out of the car. Hands where I can see them. Do it now. The woman didn't scream, didn't cry. She just looked at him, and in that moment, Marcus saw his entire career flash before his eyes. Every traffic stop, every arrest, every moment he'd told himself he was one of the good ones. Officer Reed, she said quietly, I'm a federal agent. My badge is in my right jacket pocket. I'm going to show it to you now. Time stopped. Marcus felt something warm spreading down his leg. He looked down for a fraction of a second, just long enough to see the dark stain spreading across his uniform pants. He'd pissed himself. The woman slowly reached into her jacket and pulled out a black leather wallet. She flipped it open. FBI. Special Agent Diana Foster. Her photo stared back at him, official and undeniable. You just pulled a gun on a federal agent, she said, and her voice was still calm, but now there was something else underneath it. Something cold and final. While she was reading a newspaper on her day off, Marcus's gun was still pointed at her. His hand was shaking so badly he could barely hold it steady. The warm wetness on his leg was spreading, and he knew she could see it. Everyone would see it. I didn't. Lower your weapon, Officer Reed. Unless you'd like to add assault on a federal officer to whatever else you're about to be charged with. Marcus lowered the gun. His whole body was trembling now. Agent Foster stepped out of her car slowly, deliberately. She was shorter than he expected, but somehow she seemed 10 feet tall. Here's what's going to happen, she said, and Marcus felt his career ending with every word. You're going to call your supervisor. You're going to tell him exactly what just happened. And then we're going to have a very long conversation about why a woman reading a newspaper in her own car seemed so threatening to you that you felt the need to draw your weapon. Marcus couldn't speak, couldn't move. All he could think was, this can't be happening. This can't be real. But it was real. The wet stain on his pants was real. The FBI badge was real. And the look in Agent Foster's eyes was very, very real. Unless, she said, and paused. That pause hung in the air like a guillotine blade. Unless there's something else you want to tell me about why you really pulled me over. Marcus's mind raced. Something else. What did she mean? Did she know something? Was this a setup? Sometimes the badge you're afraid of isn't the one in someone's pocket, it's the one you're wearing yourself. Agent Foster crossed her arms and waited. And in that moment, Officer Marcus Reed realized this was just the beginning.